Hello, welcome to my Starfield tutorial. Quite simply, the beginning of this game can be quite frustrating. There are lots of little different things that you need to figure out on your own. The game doesn't tell you how to do it. So I just want to try to break down as many of those things as I can, as quickly as I possibly can. um, so you make your character look the way you want to, and then you go into your background and your traits. Best background for anyone really is going to be either bounty hunter, file not found, or soldier. There are a couple other options that are good, but if you're brand new to the game, you haven't played this before, I think file not found is a great one because you get a little bit of extra health. You get a little bit of extra damage with ballistics from any weapon that's shooting a bullet. And then piloting. Piloting is important because all through the game, especially later in the game, you're going to need that extra ship skill and upgraded parts to be able to do the space battles. They do get hard, and you want that as a goal. So, yeah, I would take that. That being said, these are just the first 3 points into your character. It's not super important like the earlier Bethesda games like Morrowind or Skyrim, where whatever your background is makes a huge difference on your like gameplay later in the game. It's not like that. By the way, since I'm looking at it, gastronomy is the most useless one of all of them. I think it was added as a troll to the reviewers of the game. It was all a joke. Don't use food healing items. It's a waste of your time. Don't pick them up. Don't sell them. It's garbage. But it's horrible. You can find out for yourself. Yeah, you can. Anyway, moving on to traits. My favorite trait is Taskmaster. Occasional, if you have crew trained in certain ship systems, that system will automatically repair itself to full health whenever it's damaged below 50%. However, all crew cost twice as much to hire. Hiring crew isn't that expensive to begin with. I mean, it's a little chunk, like maybe 20 or 30,000 credits, but that's not a big deal once you get rolling. You don't have to get crew right away, but when you're going to need them later at, like, let's say level 30 or 40 or 50 or something, when you're completing a bigger mission and you have some big space battle to do. Also, so if I was a brand new player, I would take Taskmaster, Terra Firma, and Serpent's Embrace. You spend most of your time on planet. Most of it's not in space. When you're in space, it's like you're in your spaceship, or like maybe in another giant spaceship or something. Both are totally not common. It's like maybe 5% of the game. So if you take a little bit of a hit on oxygen and health, which is what we're talking about, with Terraform, and whenever you're on the planet, you get health and oxygen boosted a little bit. And with Serpent's Embrace, whenever you do a grav jump, which is always, you're always going to do grav jumps all the time, all the time, all the time. You'll get a little health and oxygen boost too. Um, and that's going to help you. Having that little bit of extra health does make a difference in how many heals you end up using and how much of a buffer you have of if an enemy hits you, how much time you have to get a heal in you before you just die. Um, and then oxygen is effectively your stamina and your oxygen. So, anyway, that's pretty much what I would do. Um, I'm not going to get into everything here because I don't want to waste your time. That's what I would go with. You're off somewhere on space in space, and you want to go to Volley. Now it says Vol 2, but it's actually pronounced Volley according to everyone that lives there. So it says that you're out of fuel range when you just press X on it, like I did. Um, okay, well, if you've already been there and you've already been to everywhere in between there, then you just click on it with A, go into where you're going, which is Volley, not Volley 2, and then go to Neon Core and hold X to press land, and you can quick travel there. If you hadn't been here before, then you would have to jump from system to system. So all of this red is where we're out of fuel. So you're going to have to jump to Captain Star. Okay, so we're going to jump there. I'm just doing this just like as if. Okay, we're going to. Who's that? Hey, you! Okay, so luckily we can ignore him. That's a bounty hunter. Um, so we'll go back in here, back out to the Starfield, and then we go to where we're going. Sometimes if you're like in a mission, it'll already be selected. And then anyway, now we'll do the same thing. We'll jump to this this next one, and we'll click on the one that has the little north-south triangles on it. That's the one that it wants you to go to for this. Now, again, right now I can just fast travel, but let's say I want to go here. Um, I'm actually not going to be able to fast travel. It won't even let me go and enter that system to go look at it. So I will actually have to jump all over town just to get there. So I just want to point that out to you because sometimes it gets really frustrating. You're trying to go somewhere and you can't. So anyway, that's that. Okay, now for instance, I want to travel somewhere on the ground. Um, Obviously, I'm not done with this mission yet, but I just want to show you. Um, you press start, and then you go to star map, and then luckily it's pulling me right into the ground travel. But the other way you can do that is, let's say you're hovering above the planet you're on, you can press RB, right bumper, and go right in here. And then I want to go to my ship, and since I'm not over encumbered, I can go right over to my ship. Now, if I was over encumbered, I'd either need to drop something or just go run and jump over to my ship as usual. I'm always going to pick up armor, boost packs, helmets, heals, weapons, and ammunition. Yeah, weapons, armor, helmets, boost packs, or jump packs, um, heals, and ammo. So this guy's got ammo, heal, and a gun. This guy's got a gun, a digipick. Those are for picking locks. Um, One of the most useless skills in the game. It can cut time off of some things by being able to pick your way through a door, but generally lock picking isn't like a super important skill. Spacesuit, gun, ammunition, heals, a gun. Okay, so let's go run back over here real quick. Here's a good little example area. Armor, ammo, gun. Now what I'm looking for is for there to be food items for me to not pick up. Otherwise, really, I'll just pick up everything off of a person. Sometimes I'll get picky and keep my eyes open, but I don't want food items in my stuff. So here's a really good leading example. Here are a couple inhalers. Those are healing items. I'm going to pick those up because they don't weigh hardly anything and they have a good amount of value, especially if I like get into a pinch and I need something to just get me through a bad little section of a battle and I've got nothing else. I'm going to use those little backup heals to figure out what to do. I'll pick up mines and throwables too, so I'll take those. There was ammo in that box last time this loaded in. And here's a good example of things I don't pick up. I don't pick up tools or any miscellaneous. I don't pick up beer bottles and books and folders. These are things I don't pick up. They have some value, but by weight, I just don't think they're worth it. Um, yeah. There are also lots of cabinets that you're gonna, probably open for a while, and then you're gonna realize eventually, like, it's so uncommon that there's something useful in any cabinet. So here's more tools. Um, that's not even a real book or poster or anything. It's just junk. So pretty much anything with a door on it, like a cabinet, I'm not gonna loot. It's the people, it's the enemies that are human that are gonna have, like, what's this? This is an epic rifle. Um, yeah, more ammo. There's a beer. I'm not gonna pick that up if I can help it. Sometimes a lot of the time, like I say, I'll just blast through their inventory and take everything they have. Um, that way, when I get back to my ship to offload my inventory, I'm just going to have weapons I can very quickly offload into there, and um, and armor, boost packs, helmets, and throwables. And then as far as ammo, I just leave it alone. If I'm ever in a real pinch and I need a bunch of credits, I can dip into my ammo and say, oh, what do I have here that I'm never going to use? Um, 6.5. I'll probably never use that, so I might sell that. It's um, not cheap ammo, it's cheaper. Anyway, um, so now that you've looted, you have a couple different options. When you're over encumbered, you can use a follower. Let's trade gear. I don't do this because I don't like having to go into their inventory, put the stuff in, and then take it out again later. Um, Sometimes I'll forget that I have loot in a follower. So, in a follower, that's weird. So, anyway, I don't normally do this, but here's how you do it if you're going to do it. You press left bumper LB um, over to your inventory, and then you would drop off. Now, I always keep an eye open for things that have a heart next to them. Those are my guns that I have saved in my hotkeys, or whatever you call it, my quick inventory. So, anyway, you just blast through here, drop off things that you don't need. Um, I'll do the same thing on a ship. So anyway, that's how you use her. The other thing you can do with her is, if you really want to, you can give her something to wear. So this is what I normally wear. Let's just give that to her, and then now she's got this better. You press Y on whatever item you want to equip to her. So now she's wearing that, which gives her a little bit of armor actually, um, and it gives her a different look. That's more of what the apparel or clothing is really for. Um, you can also give her a weapon. So let's just use one of those weapons I already gave her. I don't recommend. I would say that not every character can use every weapon effectively, so you kind of have to keep an eye open for, like, she's already pretty good with the gun that she has stock. So if you find an upgraded version of her weapon, that's probably the easiest thing to go about doing. I think she has a laser skill, so she does extra damage with laser weapons. So obvious, or uh, I think lasers. No, laser's the right word. Um, so I wouldn't give her an automatic rifle. I wouldn't give her a sniper rifle. She's going to do less damage with those because she already has a skill for things like this. Well, no, that's not it. So we'll go back to her inventory. Go to guns. Yeah, none of these guns would I give her. So I'll give her my gun, just for instance, because this is a good example of a gun that she's probably good with. Not 100% sure because I haven't tried with her. I messed around with Sarah before, where I I tried just about everything with her, and then found like one or two weapons that she was really good with. Here's the gun I gave her. So I press Y on it to equip it. And I'm going to make sure she has some ammo for it. She doesn't. So anyway, I'm not going to do it right this second, but I would give her 10 ammo if I was expecting her to run this gun. I don't know if you need to in this game. That's just like normal on any Bethesda game. You're going to give them like 10 ammo to make sure that they can actually use it. But now, she's got the armor I gave her, and now she's using that weapon I gave her. But anyway, back to talking about looting. Then, when you go back to your ship, um, you do the same thing. You want to go here. I'll just skip you ahead to that. Here's another way to jump over to your ship instead of going all the way into the surface map. If you just look on the planet and look at where you are and go over to my ship, that's one way to do that. Now, the location can be a little bit different on all the different ship cockpits. Generally, it's somewhere behind the pilot's seat is where you're going to find the cargo hold. Um, it really varies just a little bit on different cockpits. It's normally right around here. So when I'm done looting, um, or going through a big mission or whatever, I'll dump off all my inventory here. Now that's just to get my mass down. You can see my mass in the bottom left hand corner there is 45. That's pretty good. I'm not worried about my mass right now. And obviously I've got all my stuff unloaded onto Andrasia. What I normally do instead of using Andrasia is I put all my stuff onto the ship. That way, when I go to a place to go sell my loot, which we're going to get into next, I can just sell from my ship. That way, I'm not over encumbered. I can get to the stores quickly, and yeah.
All right,
Okay, my favorite place
go
to
ahead
buy
and
and sell things is Volley. It is one of the named systems in the Starfield. It's kind of down right from Sol and Alpha Centauri where you start. So you go into Volley. It's not Vol 2, it's Volley, whatever. And then down here in the bottom right corner, here's the planet. And you go to Neon. Um, or Neon Core. That's where I am. It starts you off right here in the center of this little city area, and there are like 7 places to buy and sell here, and benches all over the place in case you tap all of their money. Now you have still have things left to sell, and you've taken all their money, or yeah, then you can go rest for 38 hours is the way I do it. I don't know if I have the number exactly right. I just know I did like 34 once and it was too little. So you sit here, you go to wait, you crank it up to 24, and then hit wait, and then you come back and do it again for 14. And that'll ensure that everything resets. So, buying and selling here. Here's one. So there's this side, and then there's this side. Let's start over here. Trade Authority has the most amount of credits available to buy and sell stuff. He'll buy and sell everything with you. Um, Next place with the most amount of credits, similarly, is Neon Tactical. What a horrible sign! It's impossible to read. Um, and he only buys and sells guns. And then there's Newell's Goods. He has a little bit less money, more like pretty much everyone, all the other shops in here. He also deals in everything, and has some resources. Mining League is great for any like mineral resources and metals. He also has about 5,000 credits. Now let's go over to the other side. There's Reliant Medical. They're just there for you to buy heals, basically. He's got a mission for you. It's nothing glamorous. And then Sieghart's. He deals in everything, and I mostly sell to him. He doesn't have anything particular I want to buy, except sometimes he has resources. Um, and then the last place, it would be the Emporium, where he only has like 2,000 credits or something like that, so he's not super useful, but I'm going to use him if I'm doing a big run of selling a bunch of stuff. And then important to note is the Volley Hotel. They have a mission board. So I'll grab Kill the Ecliptic Specialist because I don't really like the ones where you have to do space battle, and that's what both of those are. Once you've seen these enough, you'll start to notice which ones are which. Okay, it is. There are a couple little things when you're buying and selling that are important to notice. Um, Up in the upper left hand corner, it says vendor, and it says buy or sell from Frontier. When you press the left bumper or LB, you can flip between these options. So if you want to buy something from him beyond buy, let's buy some ammo while we're here. And then, so you just, it's good to look up every once in a while and get in a really strong habit to make sure that you're in the right menu. I've gone in here and accidentally bought his whole menu or accidentally sold everything I had because I didn't realize which tab I was in. Sometimes I'll save before I go do buying and selling. Um, anyway, and here's a really handy thing you'll hopefully realize right away, but in case you don't, here's me telling you. You can go sell from Frontier. So you can sell from your ship. So here's some stuff. I don't know if I'm selling any of this actually. Here, this can be sold. So I just sold that from my ship. That was on my ship inventory. I don't need these sandwiches. Bunch of useless stuff. Anyway, um, that's it. Priority system. There's another place to get bounty missions. So we have New Atlantis, and then I'll actually just walk you through this, and I'll show you a couple other little tips about Jemison. I don't use Jemison for a lot of things, but every once in a while, especially in the very beginning of the game, it's really useful to know how to get through this place. So we're just going to do a quick section on Jemison. So that's the spaceport. I just got off my ship, and you'll probably notice right away your boost pack does not do what mine just did. Mine's got the extra boosty boost. Okay, so we go in from, there's the ship over there. We come in here over to the left. Here's the first bar, or whatever this is. Yeah, it looks like a bar. Here's another mission board. So again, these are super, super helpful. I can't tell you enough. I'm not going to take any of those though. This one's destroying a ship, and I don't want to deal with those. Like I said, I like the ones where you go into a base and go kill an elite Crimson Fleet or something like that. This chick will buy and sell from you. She also has decent guns, I think, sometimes. And so, again, we followed this all the way to the left over here. And this is how you get down to the well. This is the best place that I know of for buying and selling stuff. I'm not going to go down to the well and waste your time with this, but you go down there and you go find the Trade Authority, and they carry like 12,000 credits or something like that. They'll buy and sell everything with you, and sometimes they have okay guns. Other times they have surprisingly good guns. Um, and then, uh, so the well is super important. It's too bad they didn't put like a map marker like this, to where you could just go down to the well. It doesn't make any sense to me why they didn't do that. I guess maybe so you can discover it and be surprised. Also, you can go to the commercial district, and you can go to the residential district to buy and sell things. There's a gun shop there that's pretty good. So here's the commercial district. There's the train. And you just go right over here to the right, and this is the UC supply place. Um, Buy and sell lots of stuff there. They have a pretty high amount of credits, and they have like everything. They have heals, resources, guns. They have everything. And then let's go over to the residential district real quick if it'll let us. It won't. It's going to make us do the thing over here. So since there can only be like 4 map markers when you're in this star map menu on a planet, sometimes you can get into the residential district, I think. Other times you can't. It's kind of weird like that. I'm hoping they'll update or change. So you go to the residential district, and there's a place to buy heals here, and then there's a little loop of stores, and there really isn't much. There's a clothing store where you can get some like corpo clothes, and then there's a gun store. It's kind of over to the left here, if I remember right. Yeah. So here's the gun store. Let's just see what their guns are like to my level. I think that they have like decent guns to whatever level you are. Oh yeah, let's skip through your nonsense. Yeah, calibrated. That's where we're at right now. Calibrated Beowulf, that's what I'm carrying. So yeah, so she has a pretty good selection of guns, and then some, custom stuff and some weird stuff. Generally speaking, the more you spend on a gun, the more it's worth to you. But not always. Like this one, it only has a 6-round mag. You can get that same damage from something bigger. Anyway, we're not getting into guns yet. Anyway, just wanted to show you real quick. If you follow this out the door and then to the right, there's a place to buy heals right out there. That when you're building up your piloting skill, it says destroy 15 ships to get to the next level. It's going to say destroy more ships to get to the level after that. You go up into the mass district and you go into that building, this very obvious and easy to find building in the center of the mass district, and you go talk to Tuala and get signed up for the Marines or whatever they call it. It's not the Marines, it's the Vanguard. He'll set you up with a flight simulator. You go up into that elevator right over there, and it'll take you up to the flight simulator. So that's a really good tool for getting those ship kills that you need to progress in that one skill. I'm going to run over the residential district. I just loaded up my level 5 character, and I want to talk about guns. And then I'll switch over to my level 27 character in just a moment here. Okay, so I just learned something. So this chick at the Arsenal place in the residential district in New Atlantis actually has a better version of the gun I just bought somewhere else. Oh no, never mind. It's the same, exactly the same. So I'm level 5. That means nothing is leveled up yet. It's at, I think, level 6. Maybe there's like one more tier of guns you can unlock that's slightly better or something like that. It's not until level 16 that you get the Beowulf. So until level 16, this is basically what I'm going to run unless I just happen to find something else. Like level 16 Beowulf, and then level 21, I think, is where you unlock the Kodama, the automatic version. I tend to really love these guns with the 7.77 ammo. Um, the ammo's cheap. It's like 9 credits per round. Yeah, everything else starts at 25. Is the cheapest. Um, and where's that kilovolt? 3 kV. Um, this is the most I've seen available of it. Um, 200 rounds. Not everyone sells it. So I would start with a laser weapon, but the ammo just isn't very available until you start killing Varun Zealots or whoever drops a bunch of that ammo. So anyway, up until around level 16 or so, I'm probably just going to be running 7.77, and my first gun. If I don't pick one up right away, I'll go sell whatever I have if I need the credits to go get a modified Grendel that's semi-automatic with a reflex sight. That'll make a huge difference for you. If you grab a Grendel that's automatic, damage per bullet is lower, um, although your damage per second is going to, your DPS is going to be just a little bit higher um, with fully automatic. Um, it, for economy's sake and to make sure that I have enough ammo to get through what I'm doing in the very beginning of the game, this is what I'm going to do is grab a modified Grendel that's semi-automatic. So I highly recommend that. Okay, now we're back to my level 27 character. And I just discovered this. Oh, it's gone because Andresia's holding it. Hold on. So I just discovered this gun. Would normally not include it in a tutorial thing like this. I'm probably using that word wrong, by the way. I'm all about this Beowulf. I love it. It's got a 30 round mag, which is okay. It's a little small. Has super high accuracy once it's upgraded. You can put a silencer on it, which is great. It's aimed toward single fire, so it has good single fire damage. At level 27 or whatever I am now, this is a great all around gun. I get the most out of my ammo. But I just discovered two other guns that I really like. This one, the Orion, um, at this level is really good. It goes with this 3 kV LZR ammo, which is fairly uncommon. You can pick up enough of it, though, for it to be worth running. And for a little while there, maybe 5 levels or so, this did more damage than my Beowulf because I only had a base Beowulf. But now that I have a calibrated Beowulf, or whatever it is, it does a little bit. Now these two are on par. So I'd say after level 16, go ahead and grab a Beowulf right away. Um, if a calibrated Orion shows up, grab that. Um, but all these things change through the different levels. So at this level, this is what works. At another level, something else will work. And every once in a while, you'll find some outlier special gun. Like I found a Kodama that was like extra extended mag. So with the same upgrades as it has now, it currently has 66 magazine size. It had like a 90 or 96 magazine size. So that was pretty sweet. And that was before I even had a calibrated Beowulf. So I was able to, I don't know, it was cool. It was different. But then I found the calibrated version. And I really didn't put much thought into using automatics before and having a gun that's for higher damage per second. But that now I'm starting to look at it and be, I love the economy of 7.77 ammo on a gun that does a little more damage per bullet than everything else with a decent fire rate. That's great. I mean, that's just a smart decision. But if I need to melt something, now I know I can grab a Kodama, which is fully automatic. and with just over 3 times the fire rate. So the Beowulf is 50 fire rate. This is 150 plus 20, 170. And then, so that means I'm gonna times three, um, or sorry, yeah, times three the damage per bullet to match the fire rate. Um, if I'm trying to do the math. I'm probably saying it wrong or something. But basically, if I times the physical damage of this automatic rifle with the triple fire rate by three, I get what 121 or something like that. Um, anyway, it's a little more than the damage per one round at 50 fire rate on this one. That being said, the magazine's only 66, so you can kind of factor that in too, and the little bit more fire rate that I'm not even doing into the equation. Anyway, as far as just if I'm dumping one clip into something, this does more damage in those like 3 seconds or whatever than I would be able to do with this Beowulf. So I like having a gun that can do that. Uh, and another thing yet still you can do is, like I said, I have this research and weapons and armor station on my ship so that I can go in and do weapons upgrades. So it gives you all these different options, and they are unlocked in a couple different ways. First, you start by getting points into your weapon engineering skill. I did that by unlocking medicine first, then the weapon engineering skill. And then later you're going to need 1 point into the special projects to get the final weapons skills. So anyway, you get a point or two into engineering, and then you can come over here and do some research for different gun parts, and then you come over here, do a few different gun parts, and then that opens up to get to another skill, blah, 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 blah. But now, if you do put points into this gives you the option to really um, customize your weapon a few different ways. One that I really love is being able to choose between a reflex sight, a medium scope, and a short scope. I don't really like the short scope. I like the medium scope. On some guns, I might put the long scope on it if it's available. I love being able to put a suppressor on because sometimes I want to turn the volume way up, but I don't want my own gunshots to blow my ears out, so I'll put a suppressor on. There are other options there. And then if you want a laser or don't want one, you can choose between those two. I generally don't want a laser. It's just when I'm kind of, let's say, dry aiming, like like this, or with yeah, like this without ADSing. Um, the laser, look how the laser never like ever matches up exactly to the inside of those crosshairs. Like this makes no sense. Like at any distance too. Does it at this? No, it doesn't. Here, let's go all the way to the end of the ship and aim all the way to the end of the ship. I still don't think it does. Like I don't understand how. It's just. I don't think so. I don't think it. I don't think the laser's any good, guys. Um, it does add accuracy points to the gun, which is good, but it doesn't do anything for it as far as what a laser should actually do. And then you can go in here and do internal mods, make it high power or hair trigger. Look how that raises the fire rate, which on certain guns that'll actually raise your damage per second higher than the high powered will. Interesting. And then once you finally get receiver mods, then you can go buy whatever version of this gun you want and make it however you want, or whatever gun, and make it fully automatic or semi-automatic, whatever you want to do. So I like keeping a bed on my ships that I can rest before anything I'm doing, so I can get the well rested perk and keep it going. I think you get like 10% more experience or something like that, so I find that extremely useful. And that's why I add this workshop module onto my ship instead of just replace the base one with it. So here's what I did right around level 20 or so. I added some storage on since I was doing the weapons modifications. I still haven't upgraded the shield. I did upgrade the power module, the reactor, up to generating 20 power instead of 14 or 12 or whatever the beginning one. I think the beginning one starts with 14, and you really need like a little more to be effective in combat. Now that I have 20 power on 8 beam cannons, um, I'm I feel a little more comfortable. I will work my way up to 12 beam cannons at some point. Um, so something I did right away was I deleted 2 of the legs from the ship because it still didn't need them. And then at a certain point, when I did all these upgrades, I needed to put another little bit of landing gear to support all that weight. So I just went ahead and put this big ugly brick of landing gear here. Um, Beam weapons, they have an equal amount of damage between the hull and the shield, so you don't have to switch back and forth between uh, whatever kind of gun and then a ballistic gun. This just simplifies things. And I've seen pictures of other people's ships and stuff doing the same thing. Um, so here's the first one you'll get. It's the Disruptor 3300A Auto Electron Beam. Um, Auto is important. If it doesn't say auto, then it has half the fire rate, and it's not very effective. So I try to get these ones that are like at least 6.65 or something fire rate, something close to that. This is the better one that you get unlocked just a little later. I'm not sure what unlocks it, whether it's one of my skills or if it's progress in the game. Um, but yeah, so I have 8 of those, and an upgrade on this and an upgrade on my engines. This gave me a little bit more mobility. If I was really wanting to take the time right now, I'd probably throw one more on there. And you can see it negatively affects my jump range a tiny bit and my mass to do this. Um, but look, it's fine. And it raises my mobility. So even though that's wonky and looks goofy, um, that would be a good next upgrade for me. Because mobility is your ability to maneuver around when you're doing space battle, which is really like the most important trait of your ship. So always look at your mobility. Go for those auto beam weapons, and that also makes it to where you only have to put points into beam weapons instead of putting them into like phasers and ballistics or whatever the skills are. I wouldn't even know because I don't mess around with it. And missiles, yeah, I don't mess around with those either. Just do beam weapons. Yep, that's about it on ships. Chip, I'm not going to mess around with that right now. We're going to have a follower with us. Anyway, so I just warped us over to Hyla, my favorite power leveling planet as of current. You want to go find yourself a nice swamp, and then on the bright side of the planet, so don't start off in the dark like I just was. Sometimes a whole bunch of spawns will load in right around you when you land on the planet. and then other times you'll need to go hunting. So let's see, how did we do this time? Let's reload guns while we see. Nothing. Okay, there we go. We got one little squad. So we'll go toward whatever squad, and then we'll just keep on running. I just tested this in an earlier video that I'm probably going to end up throwing in the garbage, but it my level was at the I in my name in rig, and then to the end of level 27 in 5 minutes. So that's pretty good. That's a little over half a level in 5 minutes. Um, I've seen it be better. I've seen it be worse. Depends on what level you are. It works up to about level 60. But these little guys are pretty easy to deal with. Here, let's do a longer range capable gun. Oh, God. Come on. Alright, you gotta actually aim sometimes. And that's the sound of them aggroing close to me. Also, this won't go as fast because I have Andrasia with me. So, because she's going to steal a bunch of experience. But if she wasn't with me, it would take about 5 minutes. One thing you got to watch out for is these guys. Um, the praying mantis looking things are pretty deadly. One hit will take down half your life, depending on what level you are or what level they are. Ah! Get me out! So you got to watch out for them. And I'll show you how much faster I can melt through one of these guys with this thing. Love this gun. Ah! Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's my tutorial. I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe if you can. If you made it this far through the video, really appreciate you. And all that other YouTube-y stuff that I'm supposed to say. Yeah, take care of yourself. Be well. Bye.